Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to practice phonetics, morphology, and syntax, which are topics that we have been studying before, okay? So please open the file that I sent to your email called phonetics, morphology, and syntax. In slide 1, you are going to find the objectives, which are practicing phonetics, morphology, and syntax, and the analysis of a text. First of all, I want you to go to slide 2 and we will find let's remember, okay? We have the three topics that we have been studying, which are phonetics, syntax, and morphology. So remember that phonetics refers to the symbols that we can use to express how a word is pronounced. Example, airplanes. Okay, in front of the word you can read the phonetic symbols that we have to use to pronounce the word. Then we have syntax, and we have an example, which is the poem is written by Auden. We find the NP, VP, PP, and MP. And remember that we have to sort those words into each one of those categories, okay? Then we have morphology, which refers to the structure of words. And here we find a very good example, which is untouchables. Untouchables, okay? On is a derivational prefix, of course, because it is at the beginning of the word, yes, and it is derivational because, yes, it changes the word to form a new word, okay? Then we find the touch. Touch is a stem because it can stand by itself. Then we find able, which is a derivational suffix since it is at the end of the word, that's why it is a suffix, and it is derivational because it changes the word to form a new word, okay? Then we find the s, yeah, which is an inflectional suffix because it provides us with a grammar information. Yes, it doesn't change the word to form a new word, it just changes the word from singular to plural. Okay, having said that, we can go to slide 3, please. We are going to analyze today a beautiful poem that I really like. And here in this slide, we find a lot of information about that poem. Well, not a lot of, but some information about that poem, right? It was written by Winston Hugh Auden, who was born in England, yeah, in 1907. Oxford. Yeah, he was educated at Oxford and he has been admired for his unsurpassed technical virtuosity and an ability to write poems in nearly every imaginable verse form. The incorporation in his work of popular culture, current events, and vernacular speech is very known. Okay, he was a prolific writer, not only a poem writer but also playwright, librettist, editor, and essayist. Okay, you can find the link if you want to learn more about this poem, okay, or this author. Okay, it is up to you. Let's go please to slide 4. I am going to read the Funeral Blues poem, and I'm going to send the audio file to your email so you can practice pronunciation, okay? Funeral Blues. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone, silence the pianos and with muffled drum, bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. Let airplanes circle, moaning overhead, scribbling in the sky the message, he is dead. Put crepe bows round the white necks of the public doves. Let the traffic policeman wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week, and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out everyone. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Put away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to any good. Well, I know it was a little sad, but it is very beautiful to me. So now we can go on, please, to slide 5. Yeah, there we are going to find the phonetics analysis. Okay, I'm going to write the first paragraph and then you can read the phonetic symbols of each word. Okay, stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone. You are going to try to read the paragraph, yeah, just by reading the phonetic symbols. Okay, so please. Okay, that was a very good exercise. Now we will try to figure out what are the words that are expressed here as phonetic symbols. Check the example. Wheat. You can check your phonetic symbols table to do this exercise, okay? Remember, you can check it. Okay, now we will analyze the first paragraph of the poem syntactically. We will follow the steps from the next slide, so please, let's go to slide 8. Okay, so we are going to analyze the first line of the poem. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone. The first thing that we have to do is to identify the main sentences from the first line. So, stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone. Let's analyze stop all the clocks. So, let's go to next slide, please. Okay, the second thing that we have to do is to sort the words by categories like this. Stop is a main verb, all is a preposition, the is a determiner, and clocks is a noun. The next step is to identify the following categories inside that sentence, okay? Noun phrase, verb phrase, prepositional phrase, adverbial phrase, and adjective phrase. So stop would be a VP, old would be a PP, clocks would be an NP. Once we have identified the different categories of the words, we can move on to next step, which is try to locate the parentheses. In this case, stop, it stands by itself, right? All the clocks, well, they are subordinated. Clocks depends of all the, okay? So stop will be the VP and all the clocks will be the PP. But we have a noun inside the PP, right? It is clocks. So the result will be stop, BP, all the clocks is a PP, and inside the prepositional phrase we have an NP, which is clocks. Okay, now let's try to do this exercise. Let's analyze this sentence. Prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. Okay, so let's do it. Prevent, it's a VP. The dog from barking is an NP. With a juicy bone is a prepositional phrase. Okay, now we have to identify what's inside each phrase. So let's try to do it. Okay, good. We have prevent, it stands by itself. The dog from barking, good, NP, PP, VP. With a juicy bone, PP, adjective phrase, and P. Okay? Okay, now we are going to remember on slide 13 morphology. Okay, so let's remember through an example. Untouchables. On is a derivational prefix. Touch is a stem. Able is a derivational suffix. And s is an inflectional suffix. Okay? Of course, on is a derivational prefix because it comes at the beginning of the word and it actually changes its meaning. Touch, well, it stands by itself, so it is a stem. Able is a derivational suffix since it changes the word as well, but it is at the end of the word. And s is an inflectional suffix since it is giving us grammar information, but it doesn't change the meaning of the word. Good. Now let's try to do the exercise on slide 14, please. So let's analyze paragraph 1. We have stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone. Good. Clocks. Clocks is an inflectional suffix, yeah, that s, because it changes the number of the nouns from singular to plural. Next, we have prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. Okay, good. Barking and juicy. Barking. Barking has an inflectional suffix, right? It's an ing verb form. Then we have juicy, which has also a derivational suffix because it changes from noun to adjective, so it changes the meaning of the word. Next, we have silence the pianos and with muffled drum. Pianos, right? Inflectional suffix because it changes from singular to plural. And muffled, that d is a derivational suffix. It changes from verb to adjective. Finally, we have bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. Mourners, that s is an inflectional suffix because it establishes the plural of the noun. Okay? Good. Okay, guys, this has been a very good preparation for our test, right? And of course, we have homework analysis of paragraph 2, including phonetics, syntax, and morphology, as seen in this session. Okay, paragraph 2. Practice pronunciation by using the audio file sent by your teacher. I'm going to send to your email the audio file so you can practice and practice every day. I think that you should do it. Okay, so thank you so much, and I will see you next session. Bye bye.